right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back inside BC Place Stadium, where one half of next Saturday's AA Varsity Championship game has already been set. The Vernon Panthers, having punched their ticket earlier this morning in our second game of the day. This is game number 3. Justin Morissette and Jay Prepchuk bringing you the action from BC Place. And Jay, this one obviously promises to be a pretty heated contest between the John Barsby Bulldogs and the Windsor Wolves, with a trip to the finals on the line to meet Vernon.
Absolutely, Justin. This is just going to be a tremendous football game. I've been looking forward to this one all week. Let's go.
And here we go. The Bulldogs will kick this one off to get it started. The Windsor Wolves on the kick return to begin. And it's a kick return that is stopped up just shy of the 35. I believe Windsor will begin the game on their own 34-yard line.
And a good kick return there for the Wolves. If I say the Dukes today, pardon me, folks, but many years of coaching and working with the Windsor Dukes. The Windsor Wolves have great field position to start this football game, and let's see if their outstanding quarterback can get something going right from the get-go.
They get spotted at the 35, in fact, which is where the Wolves will begin this drive. 1st and 10, and like you, I might call them the Dukes a few times over the course of this game as old habits die hard, but it is the Wolves who begin on offense, and a pass to the near sideline connecting as that one finds the hands of Xavier Washington, and he will move the chains on the first play of the game.
Like the call, wide receiver screen to outstanding receiver Xavier, and just get the ball in the hands of your playmakers to start the game. It's an easy throw out there for Emmett Ward. Big first down for the Wolves to start this football game.
11 yards on that grab for Xavier Washington to get us started. Play now on the 46 as the drive continues for the Windsor Wolves. A flag on the play as the rush goes out of bounds in the hands of Emmett Ward, the QB hanging on to that one himself.
Yeah, this one's going to come back, I think, Justin. It's probably going to have a hold, and it looks like the Windsor Wolves just on the perimeter there. Quarterback sweep to the outside. Jamie Graham, the experienced referee. Whenever there's a sweep, whenever there's an outside play, he's always going to be looking at the perimeter blocking, and that's exactly what happened on that particular play. The Wolves are going to be coming back with a holding call. Unfortunately, a great play by Emmett to, again, to start this football game.
As Emmett Ward came over to the near sideline to have a quick chat with, I believe, his head coach Malcolm Allen, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, absolutely.
Quick conference between the two minds powering this offense as Ward goes right back to work. First down after a 10-yard penalty has taken them all the way back to the 35 where this drive first began. Long pass falls incomplete, intended for Xavier Washington, but it hit the turf well before it made its way to him.
And that's one of the plays that Malcolm Allen talked about running this year, or in this particular game. They know that they're going to face the Barsby 4-4 cover 3 defense. Barsby's run that defense for years. They are, they keep it fairly simple, but they run that defense so well, and they are very, very disciplined. Malcolm Allen wanted to try to attack the flats, and Emmett just threw an incomplete pass there to bring up a 2nd and long. Watch for another quick screen here. That's exactly what happened there. Again, quick screen. They're trying to get the ball out into the playmaker's hands real quickly, but Barsby does a good job on that against that trips formation, that trips stack formation. They bring one of their outside linebackers, they walk him out and disrupt that play right from the get-go. So, again, even though Barsby's in that cover 3, the corners are back off a little bit, 8 to 10 yards. Windsor tried to hit that underneath and get that underneath coverage worked against.
That's Emmett Ward back in the pocket, takes the snap, 3rd down, 3rd and long. 20 yards to a fresh set of downs. He's pressured, thought about running it. No, puts the ball in the air, and it's picked off. Back the other way come the Barsby Bulldogs. This one intercepted by Johnny Durkin And that is a big, big play for the Barsby defense to really halt this drive, the game's opening drive before it could begin, with a huge interception.
Johnny Durkin playing that middle safety spot. Boy, he is just one of the outstanding football players in this province. Brother Nathaniel, of course, that played for Barsby, played for University of Calgary, won the Vanier Cup, and Brother Johnny following in his big brother's footsteps. Again, they get a chance here to talk a little bit more about, Johnny playing safety, a league all-star back there. Just had a great season. Also a excellent basketball player. I know Mom's listening to us all the way from, I believe she's overseas somewhere listening to this game. So, hi, Mom. I know you're proud of your boys. And here's an opportunity for the Bulldogs here. Again, an interception as Emmett Ward tried to hit a deep post pattern, and Johnny Durkin is right there with the first interception, the first turnover of the ball game.
As the Wolves got stopped up by a penalty flag, and the Bulldogs hit a penalty snag of their own on first down, walked them back 5 yards, and we have a flag on the play yet again. So despite a pickup of about 5 yards on the carry to negate that first penalty, I'm not sure that this play is going to count when it's all said and done. Looks like this one is going against the Bulldogs as well.
Yeah,
it's a repeat first down again, and I would imagine it's walking even further back this time.
Little early jitters here from the Barsby offense. Pushed them back again here, and this is not what they want with their power run game. They kind of like to chip away and, pick up 5 yards, 6 yards at a time here, and this is not what this offense wants.
Perhaps a little overexcited to start this game. And it's tough not to feel the big game atmosphere playing under the dome here at BC Place, especially with a spirited crowd on hand. A lot of supporters for both teams really in the building today, so there's going to be a ton of noise no matter who is on offense. But it looks like there's been a turnover, a fumble that's been recovered by the Windsor Wolves, as Liam Russell came out of the pile with the ball in his hands, and 2 turnovers, both of the first drives for these offenses ending with a turnover. Not the way either coach would have drawn up the start of this game, but
yeah, smart play by the Windsor Wolves there, just gang tackling there, as Wolves will do, and they're gang tackling again. Third man in, strip the football from the Barsby Bulldogs. Again, 2 series, 2 turnovers so far, Justin.
As the defense does a solid for quarterback Emmett Ward, whose last drive ended on an interception. He gets a chance to redeem himself here, but he's wrapped up for a sack on first down. The first man in to make that tackle, Sawani Nakuna, number 55 for the John Barsby Bulldogs, came out with arms outstretched, victorious to the sky after a big sack.
Yeah, Sawani, and a league all-star this year from his defensive tackle position, has made a lot of big plays for this Barsby Bulldog defense. And again, Emmett Ward just dropping back to pass, and a little bit of pressure on him in that case, and Barsby does a nice job of getting the sack, first sack of the football game.
Loss of 4 yards as a result of that tackle brings up 2nd and 14 for Emmett Ward and his Windsor Wolves. Ward deep in the pocket. Will take a hot snap, gathers it in, gets the ball away, pass complete down the middle. And it will be a first down for Windsor as that pass connects with number 7, Samson Sachter.
Yeah, and again, I talked to Emmett Ward throughout the week, and, I asked him, I said, Emmett, who's your favorite receiver? And he said, you know what, Coach, I'm throwing to all of my guys. Every one of my receivers I have so much faith in, and you can see from the stats that, again, the ball has been really spread around nicely from the Windsor Wolves. So, there's not one particular receiver. That's why it's so tough to defend against this type of offense.
As this offense hopes to keep on moving downfield. Emmett Ward now at the enemy 47, 1st and 10. He'll hand the ball off for a run. along the left side in the hands of Liam Russell, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, that's number 24, Brady Smith.
Yeah, Brady Smith, the outstanding running back, averaging 8 yards per carry this year, and just a simple toss pattern or toss play to the left-hand side, motioning across, kind of outnumbering that Barsby defense. Big pickup for first down, big pickup on first down for Brady Smith.
Nearly had 8 there. As you mentioned, his season average, I believe that was a pickup of about 7. Brings up second and a long 3. We'll call it 3.5. As Ward takes the snap, fakes the handoff, puts the ball in the air, and it just evades the grasp of Liam Russell. Third down.
Yeah, a little play action pass from Emmett Ward. Just kind of reads that outside linebacker, a little RPO action, just getting the ball out of his hands just a little bit high in that flat pass right there. But again, that's what Malcolm Allen wanted to try to really go after, is the flats of the John Barsby Bulldog defense.
There is a pace and an intensity to this game already, though, Jay, that feels markedly different from anything that we've seen so far this morning. These two teams, two heavyweights who've come for a slugfest as Emmett Ward hangs onto the ball himself after a faked handoff, arms outstretched, and he will pick up the first down. And probably an extra 3 yards on top of that.
Yeah, and Rob Stevenson, the longtime veteran coach of the John Barsby Bulldogs, when I talked to him this week, Rob said to me, he said, you know what, Coach, we've just got to stop that quarterback. He is just such an outstanding athlete, and of course a provincial all-star and at that quarterback position, and only in grade 11, Justin.
That's the second straight game here where we're looking at an incredibly talented quarterback who still has another season left to play in front of him. As, of course, a grade 11 quarterback guiding the Vernon Panthers to the championship game next week as well.
Yeah, we've got two, the outstanding grade 11. Isn't that great that fans have another year of Cole and Emmett Ward? So just a hitch pattern to the outside. You can see the tremendous strength. Throwing the wide side short curl pattern shows you the strength of Emmett Ward's arm.
As the Wolves now knocking on the door just outside the red zone. 1st and 10 from the 24. Emmett Ward hoping that he is the man to meet Cole Budgeon in the AA varsity final 1 week from today. As Ward will hand the ball off this time. And the running back wrapped up and hauled down. That's Brady Smith, who couldn't go very far, ran into a mess of bodies at the defensive line who were quick to wrap him up.
Yeah, it's going to be illegal motion again in American football. Watch the slot back coming across the formation and starts upfield just before the snap of the ball. And again, this experienced referee crew led by Jamie Graham right there is telling us, again, that's an illegal shift, illegal motion by that slot back who, again, you cannot turn your motion, you cannot go upfield at all before the snap of the ball in American football.
Meanwhile, the thing that's catching my eye on the Windsor front early in this one are the little conferences going on near the sideline between Emmett Ward and his head coach Malcolm Allen, pretty well in between every single play so far, Jay. They are really taking their time to talk things out and making sure that they get the right plays they want. And now it's a pass down the middle that does connect with its intended receiver. This time number 25, Xavier Washington for the Windsor Wolves. Able to hang on to that ball and pick up about 10 yards. Unfortunately, they still need another 3 or so to a fresh set of downs.
Yeah, the Wolves in a stack formation right there, and Barsby comes up with the outside linebacker and gets a good bump on the initial receiver. But Xavier, the second receiver in the formation, kind of came underneath on a quick slant, and Emmett Ward does a nice job of getting the football. Washington does a good job of getting the ball up the field and bringing up a 2nd and 5 situation. Yeah, the Wolves are, smart move by Malcolm Allen there. Called timeout because they would have been called, as they did not have enough players on the line of scrimmage here. They came out in a trips formation, and the wide receiver to the far side, the lone receiver, was not on the line of scrimmage, so that definitely would have been a penalty. And quick shot of the fans there. Let's see a little bit of action from the Wolves fans there. Usually a great crowd from the Seymour area. Windsor, again, lots of great tradition of football. I had a chance to coach there, win a couple of 3 championships in the mid-90s. Great memories. Lots of great players that we had. Great support in the school. John McGowan, the principal, longtime volleyball guy in the province. He knows the importance of sports. Steve Martin, the sponsor of the team, who took over for me actually, and was the head coach. He won some championships with Windsor football program years and years ago. And again, great to see the outstanding support from John McGowan, the administration, and Mr. Steve Martin. You guys, good job to keep this football program going.
As they hope to keep this drive going as well. 2nd and 5 from the 19 as the Wolves are inside the red zone. And just shy of that first down marker is the quarterback Emmett Ward, who called his own number on a rush to the far sideline. And I think was spotted just 1 yard shy. It's going to be 3rd and inches.
Bring up 3rd and less than a
Yeah,
yard.
very impressed with the blocking of the wide receivers of the Windsor Wolves tonight. Just trying to get a little bit more room for Emmett to run the ball. But nice form tackle by the all-star kid that's been around football with the Barsby program for many years. Number 5, Colton Finstead. We'll be calling his name a lot. A league all-star. 55 tackles this year. Great season, Colton.
Emmett Ward calls his own number yet again as he takes a short snap from just above center and will push forward on a QB sneak. That is just enough to move the sticks. First down for the Windsor Wolves.
Yeah, and why not? When you're 6'4", 200 pounds, you should run a quarterback sneak, and that's exactly what they did, running over their big provincial all-star. Again, another kid that I've known for a lot of years, number 55, Devin Kotar, 6'1", 260 pounds, just loves football, eats it up, and has had a great career. Played GSL football as a young guy, part of Team BC, and a veteran of this Windsor Wolves football team.
Emmett Ward with time now, gets the pass away, unfortunately, just behind his intended receiver, as Samson Sachter was a little bit in front of that one, and it falls incomplete.
A good call by Malcolm Allen. You know, again, Malcolm told me during the week, this is what we're going to try to exploit. We're going to go after the flats. We know that Barsby's going to be in that cover 3 situation. They're going to 4 down linemen, 4 linebackers, and it's very challenging at times for those outside linebackers to get to the flat and cover the wide kind of quick breakout throw, and that's exactly what the Wolves are trying to exploit at this time in the first quarter.
And this time Samson Sachter joined Emmett Ward in that little coaches meeting along the sideline with Malcolm Allen as Ward takes the snap and will shuffle over to the left side. The pass is away but knocked out of the sky, very nearly intercepted by the Barsby Bulldogs. A dangerous situation that perhaps Windsor lucky to escape from unscathed.
Yeah, exactly. Just a quick rollout pass to his left-hand side, and Emmett does a nice job of getting the ball away, but again, that Barsby defense, you know that they're going to be sound. You know that those outside linebackers, in that case, Cole Haslam does a nice job of defending the flat area and coming up with a big hit to prevent a completion from the Wolves.
3rd down now. 3rd and 10 from the 13. As the ball along that far sideline for Windsor. Not sure exactly where that one will be spotted as far as out of bounds, but it was a pass initially that was complete to Xavier Washington. Where they're going to spot him as down, they're going to say he got as far as the 9 before his forward momentum was halted, and that will bring up 4th down. 5 yards to a fresh set. When you're this close to the end zone, no surprise, the Windsor Wolves are going for it. Actually, no. They're going to go for a field goal here.
Guess who the kicker is?
The quarterback as well. As Emmett Ward gets the first points of this game. Not the touchdown he might have been hoping for, but he will settle for the field goal just the same. The Windsor Wolves going up 3-0 with 2:41 remaining in the opening quarter, taking on the John Barsby Bulldogs in the AA semifinal.
Yeah, a nice drive by the Windsor Wolves to get the ball all the way down the field, but there's that tough Barsby defense, again, led by Cole Finstead. And again, it's going to be, once you get inside that 20-yard line against Barsby, they're going to be a lot tougher to get any yards at all, right? And again, that's exactly what the Barsby Bulldogs showed on that particular drive. They really stiffened up and did a nice job of defending. Got a little trivia question there.
Yeah, but you were one of the answer options. In fact, you were the answer. I don't even know what the question was. You're the answer to a lot of questions around here, though, I tell you what.
Oh, Mr. Prescott and the boys are having fun over in the announcer's booth today.
As the Barsby Bulldogs will start this kick return at their own 22. And a clip in the back, I believe, is what that penalty flag is going to be assessed for.
We've got a personal foul, high tackle, it looks like. Oh, he has a horse collar, yeah. Xavier Washington looked like he just kind of got a little bit of a high tackle there, and Jamie Graham right on top of it. And again, we all know safety first in football. Boy, Justin, the other games have flown by quickly.
Yeah,
this
game has some pace to it as well. And it's because all of the games that we've seen so far today, Jay, have been heavy on the run game.
Yeah,
which
absolutely.
Keeps that clock ticking, of course.
Okay, let's see. Barsby's going to try to get their run game going here.
Barsby hoping to bounce back after an early turnover on a fumble that was recovered by Windsor. This time the Bulldogs put the ball in the hands of Rondé Lyle.
Yeah, and they're going to rely on their big offensive line led by number 56, Carson Corbett-Smith, 6 foot 225, and of course the big tackle 75, Ryler Dalton, 6'8", 300 pounds. Ryler Dalton, provincial all-star once again this year.
Rondé Lyle able to pick up 5 yards on first down. They go right back to him on second as well, where he picks up another 5 yards on the carry, which will be enough to move the chains for a Barsby first down.
There's your workhorse, and I like the play here because what Barsby does is they take their fullback, number 4, and they run Chris Cooper to the right-hand side and run Rondé Lyle to the left-hand side. So oftentimes the defense is just kind of following where the fullback goes.
Thinking that he's the lead blocker who'll
Exactly.
be opening up the hole, of course. Nice little trickery from Barsby, though we do have a flag on the play.
Yeah, it looks like the defensive end. I could see from up here, actually, Justin. It's right in front of us. I think the left defensive end lined up in the neutral zone. So quite an easy call for the referees to make in that particular play. Could see that from up here.
5-yard penalty on Windsor will march the ball even further forward for the Bulldogs. First down, 5 yards to a fresh set. They're inside Windsor territory as well. Ball currently on the 44. As it's a run up the middle in the hands of Rondé Lyle once again, and he will get more than 5 yards as he's off to a hot start here today.
Yeah, another veteran player with this John Barsby Bulldog football program. Again, Rob Stevenson does such a great job of developing these players. These guys are in the weight room 12 months out of the year and pounding hard and working hard. You can really see the strength of these young men.
They go right back to the run game, and I believe it's Rondé Lyle once again. Why not keep going if it keeps working for you? And I think he picked up just about 5 yards once more, maybe 4.5 this time, but a healthy carry nevertheless.
Yeah, absolutely. 154 carries this year, Justin. I mean, that's a career for some football players in the CFL and the NFL. 1,367 yards this year. Wow, for Rondé Lyle. You'll see a lot of him tonight.
We are seeing it already early in this one as they go right back to him again. But Windsor perhaps having seen enough of Rondé Lyle to know that what was coming, and they are able to stop him up with no gain, I believe anyways. plays.
Yeah, Hayden Verrader for number 88 for the Wolves. Sorry, Justin.
No, I was going to say, in fact, a loss of yards as he was stopped up behind the line, dropped a yard on that one, 3rd and 7.
Yeah, nice job by number 56, Sawyer Hoy for. There's another big play for the Dukes, for the Wolves.
Another carry for Rondé Lyle, and the Wolves sniffed it out from the start yet again, brought down for another loss of yardage. 4th and 9.
Yeah, bringing up a tough situation for, Barsby just does not, they don't like getting into situations like this where they are, in a long yardage situation, and they certainly like to grind it out and, 4 yards, 5 yards, 6 yards at a time, and they're not usually in situations where they're in a 4th and 9 situation. As we come to the end of the first quarter, boy, Justin, I'm tired.
Just zipping right by, and it's all of the runs. As obviously John Barsby, the Bulldogs, putting the ball in the hands of Rondé Lyle quite a bit, and Emmett Ward electing to run the ball himself quite often on the Windsor side as well. So time ticking away in that first quarter, which is already in the books. Want to thank our sponsors, of course, for making a day like this possible. Sponsors that include Uber, who are introducing Uber Teen Accounts, a linked Uber account for your teen with trackable trips and highly rated drivers. Between school, practice, and friends, your teen has places to be, and you might not always be able to take them there. With an Uber Teen account, your teen will have the freedom to request their own rides, all under your supervision. So add your teen to your Uber account today. Thank you, Uber, of course, for sponsoring the BC School Sports 2023 Football Championships here under the dome at BC Place Stadium. Justin Morissette and Jay Prepchuk calling the action for you so far this morning. Jake Elliott will be joining Jay a little later on this evening for the AAA varsity games. As Barsby tries to keep their drive alive on 4th down, a pass that was intended for number 10, Misak Imanzonobi. Unfortunately, hit the turf incomplete, and that'll be a turnover on downs. The Windsor Wolves retaking possession.
Yeah, a bootleg pass could call on 4th down, and it did fool the defensive end from the Windsor Wolves, and quarterback Cohen was able to get outside and just unfortunately couldn't connect on that pass, on that bootleg pass to the right-hand side. Here comes the Wolves with another opportunity to go up by a touchdown here.
We have not seen a lot of the throwing arm of Cohen could do for the Barsby Bulldogs so far in this one. Meanwhile, it's the quarterback for Windsor who's hanging on to that ball himself, scampering all the way to the Barsby sideline where he is eventually forced out of bounds. But a pretty significant pickup on that carry for quarterback Emmett Ward nevertheless.
Yeah, we're going to continue to see the outstanding athlete Emmett Ward run the football. Just a designed quarterback sweep. Nothing special about that play. No bootleg, no faking. Just going to try to get Emmett to the outside. Rob Stevenson again mentioning that, hey, we've got to stop this quarterback.
And as you say, nothing special about that play, Jay, and yet Emmett Ward was still able to pick up 8 yards on the carry. He's way back in the pocket now. Gets a short pass away. It is complete to number 24, Brady Smith. Smith forced out at the far sideline, just shy of the Barsby 40-yard line. That will definitely move the sticks for a Windsor first down.
Love the call, love the patience from quarterback Emmett Ward in that particular play.
He almost suckered in the defense a little bit. It was like rope-a-dope in a way.
That's exactly what he did. He just waited to the last minute, put a perfect pass out there for Brady Smith, and just a well-executed screen pass. A great call against a very physical Barsby defense.
There is obviously an inherent risk in going that far back as the quarterback. If they get to you, of course, you give up a ton of yards, but he was able to create some space, and that Windsor offense finding some space yet again on first down as the pass goes right back to Brady Smith, and he chews up some big yardage once again for a second consecutive play. This one may be walked back, however, as we do have a flag on the field.
Flags down on play. We have a hold.
Yeah, a very well-designed play just to get the ball out in your playmakers' hands, just trying to get the ball out to Brady Smith in the right-hand flat. Unfortunately, it looks like it's, that often is the case on these quick screens. We'll often have the wide receivers, the linemen sometimes blocking down the field, and just a little extra grab, a little extra effort. But again, Jamie Graham and his crew right on top of those holding calls.
And this may be semifinal Saturday, but this game has the feel of a championship contest.
Yeah, they're going. There's some intensity. Not
just from the teams, but from the fans in the stands as well. There's a great atmosphere here in the building at BC Place as Emmett Ward rushing out of the pocket. I believe this was intended as a passing play, but he had to scramble to recover the snap and tried to run it upfield when he did not like his passing options.
Yeah, as you can see, just a little bit of a low snap that kind of threw off the timing for Emmett, and he was able just to pick up a few yards. But, that Barsby defense, that they're going to be in that zone look, that cover 3 look. They're going to be very, very disciplined. It's going to be very hard to find the holes in that defensive secondary, especially when you've got Kai back there, number 1, and number 2, Johnny Durkin. Some veteran athletes back there at those defensive back positions.
Emmett Ward looked a little shaken up after that tackle, but he stays in the game, no worse for wear, and we'll shovel that one over to number 24, Brady Smith, yet again. Smith has been the driver of the bus, really, on this possession.
Yeah, he really has, and a little bit of family background with Brady Smith. His brother Ethan played quarterback for the for the Wolves last year, and his father, Jeff Smith, who's down there, is the trainer. I see Jeff. He was my quarterback with Windsor way back in 1994. Can you believe that? When we mentioned that he was our first Windsor quarterback to play in BC Place in 1994. Unfortunately, we lost that game to the North Delta Huskies. But that Smith family, great group of people.
The first Windsor quarterback to play under the dome, not the last, of course. Emmett Ward, the latest, as he goes for a run right now. Oh, my goodness. The quarterback found himself a hole big enough to drive a semi-truck through as he chews up nearly 18 yards on that carry. And again, I don't even think that's the way that play was drawn up, Jay. He just found a hole. He felt the pressure coming. And when you have a quarterback with legs like this, why not let him off to the races?
Yeah, exactly. And, did a nice job of reading the fact that those linebackers, they're so well drilled, they're so well coached for this Barsby team that they know as a passing situation, they're going to fly out of there. They're going to try to get to their zone drops. And just a great play by Emmett to pick up a big first down for the Wolves.
And the Wolves knocking on the door just outside the red zone yet again. 1st and 10 from the 22 as Emmett Ward takes the snap. Will hand the ball off into the hands of Brady Smith. Smith still on his feet, being pressured by all kinds of defenders before he's finally forced out of bounds.
Boy, just showing great patience, and Brady Smith averaging 8 yards per carry this year, close to 700 yards from that tailback position. And again, with Windsor, they've just got so many different weapons that they can go to here. And with the single back and running the ball a lot with Brady Smith, and of course Emmett being a great runner and of their outstanding receiver corps, it's really difficult to stop this Windsor Wolf offense and to really focus in on one guy.
It feels very surprising as well. We're nearly 4 minutes gone here in the second quarter, and the only points in this game are a field goal. Neither offense has found the end zone as of yet, though Emmett Ward is looking downfield. The pass is away, and it's intercepted. He is picked off by the John Barsby Bulldogs. Johnny Durkin with his second INT of the game, and we remain without a touchdown here in this one.
Wow, just again, Emmett maybe just trying to do a little bit too much, and that's again the second interception, both on scramble plays, just throwing the ball up, trusting his receivers that are going to come down with that ball. But the veteran defensive back, the great athlete, an all-star, Johnny Durkin, coming up with his second interception of the game to snuff out that Windsor Wolves drive. And boy, I tell you, Johnny is having a great game from his free safety position.
Mama Durkin with a big smile on her face wherever in the world she happens to be watching from as the John Barsby Bulldogs offense goes back to work. They were looking for a long bomb on first down to Kai Redner-Bruckman. And he was not able to gather that one in. Though that pass was pretty well right on the money.
Yeah, exactly. And again, Kai, is an outstanding receiver. And there's a young man with lots of a great future ahead of him in football, as so many of these young men are. We've got so many players here that you're going to continue to see these players play at the junior level, continue to see them play at the university level. And it's just a joy for myself anyways, to see, these young men grow up over the years, doing camps in Nanaimo, Victoria, Vernon, all these different places that I've done camps for, 30 years now, Justin. I see these young guys growing up, and I'm so proud of these guys. I can well imagine what the coaches and their parents are feeling.
Yeah, you talk about continuing on at the university level, at the junior level. You have to think for some of these players as well that they will get the chance to play on this field again, perhaps at the CFL level. As that's been one of the most rewarding things for me, Jay, in my work in football at the high school and CJFL ranks over the last half decade or so, 6 or 7 years that I've been doing this, to watch that progression, guys go from high school all the way to the pros and be able to track their progress the whole way along. It is one of the things that makes this tournament special, I feel like.
Absolutely.
As the John Barsby Bulldogs picked up a first down on their first play of the drive and go right back to work. Second play of the drive, I should say, as the first play was that incomplete pass to Kai Redner-Bruckman. This time it's a rush up the middle.
Yeah, there's your fullback. There's your fullback, Chris Cooper, who is usually a blocking back, as we mentioned earlier. And boy, Chris Cooper just showing his toughness, because the Windsor Wolves had him stopped at the line of scrimmage, but just continue to churn his legs, and a nice pickup of 7 yards on first down.
7 yards on a play that looked like it was going to get stopped before it got started, and they go right back to the run game once again, this time in the waiting hands of number 11, Rondé Lyle, who will move the sticks for a first down, hauled down at the 45.
Yeah, and Justin, boy, look at the scoreboard. It's 3-0, but we've had a lot of offense in this football game. We've had a great.
This has been the best game of the day so far. The intensity, the excitement of it, and the fact that it's been as low scoring as it has been, I think speaks to the job that these defenses are doing, because these teams are putting on a show in a real significant way. As the John Barsby Bulldogs move the sticks off the rush yet again, we'll take another look at it here. Rondé Lyle once more, if I'm not mistaken. Indeed, it is him.
Yeah, and that's going to be right around his average, right? Or averaging, for somebody that's carried the ball 154 times, 9 yards per game, 9 yards per average. There's another one, 9. There's his average right there, Justin.
He's moving the chains by himself pretty well. An automatic first down, it feels like, every time they put the ball in his hands on this drive anyways. He might be just shy of the first down marker, but I do believe he has it.
Yeah, it's going to be close again. They're veteran referees here in this group. And
second and inches.
Yeah.
Not to cut you off.
No, it's close, so that's for sure.
Oh, Cohen Cadeau taking the snap, and he's pressured right out the gates. Not sure what happened on that one exactly, if he was just brought down immediately or if there was some kind of miscommunication in the backfield as that play got started.
Yeah, timeout Dukes here. Malcolm Allen looks like he just did not like what he saw there. And again, big game like this, why not why not call timeout, make sure you're organized, make sure you're set. Also probably reminding the guys, hey, you know what? This is a perfect situation right now for Barsby to run a blue play action pass, right? Like, let's fake it up the middle. We've got 3 downs left to go, and why not fake it up the middle and, look to go deep here.
And if it is the Windsor Wolves who ultimately do move on when this game comes to a close to meet the Vernon Panthers in the AA varsity final next week, Jay, I might have to bring in a jar or something for you that you'll have to put money into every time you call them the Windsor Dukes.
I was thinking that, and maybe doing push-ups every time I I'd get a good workout, wouldn't I?
Old habits die hard, of course. As this Barsby Bulldogs drive continues, they go right back to the rush in the hands of Rondé Lyle. And he is stopped up, I believe, just shy of the first down marker. They may actually bring out the sticks for a measurement here. This is about as close as it gets.
Yeah, again, outstanding tackling there. Looks like number 21, Evan Sosted, with an excellent, just textbook form tackle to limit that gain. Oh, they're going to bring in what's Jamie going to do? Oh, they call first down, yeah. I don't think that's going to change the call from Rob Stevenson here. He's going to run off tackle with Rondé Lyle. Love the name Rondé Lyle. He's got a running back name, doesn't he?
I definitely remember calling some of these names last year for sure, as the John Barsby Bulldogs had a fine showing in this building last season as well. Some great names, Kai Redner-Bruckman among them as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
But right now, it's Rondé Lyle who's going to go all the way to the end zone and score this game's first touchdown. A rushing play to the outside, sweep to the near sideline on first down, and they kept going back to him again and again. You just knew he was going to bust loose at some point, and Rondé Lyle does just that. This is actually a run that started up the middle before he came out to the far sideline. The further down the field he went. Really
did, and just showing his talent, just cutting to the little jump cut to the outside, finding that open space, and the Windsor Wolves are kind of over pursued a little bit, knowing that it's an inside run, and Rondé did a nice job of getting the ball to the outside, and a big touchdown. But hey, we can see blocked extra point there.
Yeah, Liam Russell was just about as fast as you can possibly move off the line to be able to dive in front of this kick and stop it before it even got started.
Just outstanding timing by number 4, Liam Russell there, the fine defensive back for the Windsor Wolves. And you know what, the snap, usually when there's a block like that, Justin, it's usually because of a high snap or a bad snap, but the snap was not too bad. And I tell you, he was just able to come in and just show great effort. And you know what, in a close game like this, it just really could come down to a big special teams play like that. And
absolutely, that becomes a huge play because he has kept Windsor within a field goal here of tying this game.
Yeah.
The Wolves with just a field goal to their name to this point in the game, despite the fact that their offense has looked quite good. Emmett Ward is really looking confident and on top of his game right now. Just has been unable to find the end zone. And that is largely because Johnny Durkin has picked him off not once but twice.
That's right, exactly. 2 big plays by the outstanding defensive back, Johnny Durkin. Nathaniel, you taught your little brother pretty well there how to read those passes and come up with some big picks because you're right, Justin. Those are the 2 big defensive plays of the game, and they came from the same ball player, number 2, Johnny Durkin.
As right now, Windsor doing their best to jump on the live ball after it touched a player who was not able to scoop it up on the kick return. This time it's number 4, Liam Russell, who just blocked the kick at one end, is the man who's able to jump on that ball and make sure it remains a Windsor possession. They will begin this drive from their own 24-yard line.
Okay, big series of downs here. Again, we always seem to see the 4-minute mark, the 4:44 in this case, mark of the second quarter here, and the Windsor Wolves will be kicking off to Barsby. So very important drive here. Windsor, just enough time. I know they've burnt a lot of their timeouts already, but let's see if they can get something going.
Emmett Ward takes the snap, assesses his options, feels the pressure coming, will peel out of the pocket towards the near sideline, does get the ball away downfield to Xavier Washington, and he gathers it in before being pushed out of bounds just shy of the 50. A desperation play from the Windsor Wolves, and Xavier Washington comes through.
Wow, 25-yard pass play here. Emmett just, for those young quarterbacks watching this game, the thing about Emmett rolling out, the thing about Emmett scrambling here is he's always keeping his eyes focused down the field. He's looking down the field all the time, and finds his main receiver, Mr. Washington, for a big pickup of 25 yards for the Wolves.
He never stopped reading the play, though. You're
exactly.
bang on correct. never took his eyes away from the prize, as it were. As now a shovel pass comes loose, and the Windsor Wolves may have just lost possession. The Barsby Bulldogs signaling like they have just recovered this football. And indeed, that is the case. Another huge defensive turnover, as I believe it's Chris Cooper who's the man to jump on this loose ball after it was punched free by number 54, James Francis.
Yeah, exactly. Francis is the guy that really made the play here, Justin. From his defensive end position, he saw that toss play coming and was working his contain angle and was able to punch that ball out of Brady Smith's hands.
So the Barsby Bulldogs defense doing a bang-up job in this one as their offense tries to cut loose yet again in the hands of who else but Rondé Lyle. What a game from Rondé Lyle. We're not even out of the first half yet. 4:17 remaining in quarter number 2.
Yeah, there's your inside ISO run play right over the big man, right over Mr. Dalton, opening big, huge holes. You can see number 75, the Barsby Bulldogs opening up a huge hole for his outstanding tailback, Rondé Lyle.
And Liam Russell continues to be involved in the play for the Windsor Wolves. He was the one who was able to make that tackle on Lyle. As first down, stopped up after a rush up the middle. Gain of 4, 2nd and 6. Ball just shy of the 11. We'll say it's on the 12 right now, but it's about probably halfway in between. 2nd down for the John Barsby Bulldogs. The only touchdown of this game belongs to Rondé Lyle. Came earlier in this quarter. Can he do it again? They put the ball right back into his hands, but he stopped up after a short gain of maybe 2 on the carry.
Yeah, just an ideal situation for the Barsby Bulldogs here is they're just going to kind of milk this clock down a little bit, just getting close to the 3-minute mark. Because remember, they're going to be receiving the second half kickoff as well here. So kind of a 2-possession situation for the Barsby Bulldogs.
And it is really remarkable to think from the success that we've seen from Emmett Ward and the Windsor offense already in this game that they do not have a touchdown to show for their efforts. Largely because of how good the Barsby defense has been at forcing turnovers. And we'll see if Windsor can do the same here as the Bulldogs continue to press. Now 4th down. 2 yards to a fresh set. Ball currently on the 8.
Yeah, boy, talk about a huge play of this football game, Justin. Look for Rondé Lyle to run over right tackle.
So they're going to go for it here on 4th down as the Barsby Bulldogs do put the ball in the hands of Rondé Lyle, but he is stopped up shy of the requisite yardage. A huge stop for a turnover on downs as both defenses now have come up huge in immense pressure situations.
Oh, absolutely. And exactly, you knew who was going to get the football here, and they just did the Windsor Wolves defense. Boy, they did an excellent job of just stuffing that play. Number 88, Hayden Verador, did a nice job of stopping that 4th down gamble from the Bulldogs.
As the Wolves begin this drive hemmed deep in their own zone, Emmett Ward takes the snap on the 1-yard line pretty well. Got the pass away, but it falls incomplete. He was hoping to connect with Samson Sack.
Yeah, good to see Malcolm Allen here. You know, he doesn't care that he's in the shadow of his own goalpost. He doesn't care that he's at his own 8-yard line right now. He's got one thing in mind. He wants the Windsor Wolves to march down the field and score a touchdown here to get on the board with a touchdown as we come close to the end of the 2nd quarter.
As Emmett Ward takes the snap yet again, pass down the middle, does connect with Samson Sachter, and he is off to the races. A couple of quick jukes at midfield to dodge some tackles and keep that run going. Downed just shy of the 50. Big pickup, 40 yards on that pass for the Windsor Wolves.
Yeah, just a simple seam pass to the inside slot back there by Sachter, and again, that's kind of the weakness. That's a little bit of the weakness in that cover 3 look that you're going to get from John Barsby, just taking those 2 inside receivers and running them straight up the seam. Kind of puts Johnny Durkin, the safety, in a bit of a bind there, and that's exactly what happened. And when you put the ball on the money like Emmett Ward did there, a very, very difficult pass play to defend when you're in that cover 3 look from the Bulldogs.
High pressure situation, obviously, for Emmett Ward to begin this drive pretty well from right on his own goal line, but pressure makes diamonds, as they say, Jay, and he is feeling it right now. Emmett Ward taking the snap, looking downfield again. The pass is away, connects, complete along the far sideline to Xavier Washington. A number of defenders there to wrap him up and take him down, though. Masak Emanzanobi among them.
Yeah, nice throw by Emmett Ward just to get the ball out to his number 1 receiver, Mr. Washington, out there in the left flat. Again, the weakness in the cover 3, just kind of hit those outside curls, try to get the ball out there and know that those cornerbacks are going to give a little bit of cushion and come up and try to be physical with the tackle after the catch.
Another first down for the Windsor Wolves, but the clock continues to run. Less than 90 seconds remaining in the half for Windsor to find the end zone. Emmett Ward with the ball in his hands as he scampers out of the pocket. The pass is away. It is complete to Samson Sachter. Yet again, he's brought down after a 5-yard gain. Ball now at the 37, and there is a timeout called by the Windsor Wolves.
Yeah, a good call by Malcolm here, knowing that the clock is going to be running. So Malcolm Allen calls a timeout. Let's regroup. Let's see what we got in our 2-minute package here. Maybe call a couple of different plays and know that he's got that very, very explosive offense. And we know that, Emmett Ward, the most outstanding player, one of the most outstanding players in the province, of course, a provincial all-star, only grade 11 from his quarterback position this year, completing 60% of his passes and 17 touchdowns. Boy, we know that with his arm strength, they are dangerous from any part of the football field, Justin.
Second down now, 71 seconds remaining in the half. 2nd and 6, ball on the 38 inside the Barsby side of center. As Emmett Ward takes the long snap, steps back, scrambles, this time to the far sideline, calls his own number, will rush to the sideline, stop that clock, and he did get enough yardage to move the sticks for a Windsor first down.
Oh, Barsby's very fortunate there not to be called for the late hit as Emmett ran out of bounds and got hit late coming just as he stepped out of bounds here. We'll see on the replay here how close this might be.
That is the most impressive thing, though, about having a guy like Emmett Ward, who is your primary ball carrier almost as well as a rushing player.
Yeah.
That, you're putting your most valuable player in harm's way almost every play, and it doesn't seem to faze him whatsoever.
Absolutely. Barsby changing up their coverage a little bit, coming into looking more like a cover 2 man look where they're going to be man-to-man underneath with 2 free safeties.
Ward takes the snap yet again. 60 seconds to go in the half. Scrambling out of the pocket. Has the pressure coming behind him. Gets the pass away. He's just throwing the garbage to the sideline, however. Pass incomplete.
Yeah, smart play by Emmett. We know that the coaches have told him throughout this ball game, Justin, the 2 big mistakes that we've made, the reason why we haven't scored a touchdown today is because we've kind of tried to force the ball downfield, and that happens oftentimes with very talented football players. They've got a lot of confidence in their receivers. I mean, we saw that a lot with Vernon Adams this year, right? And he just threw the ball up and expecting some of his, great receivers, Hatcher and Katoy and all those guys, to Whitehead, to be catching the football. So nice job good to see Emmett just kind of throwing the ball away, and let's live to get another down.
Second down, 2nd and 10 from the 30. 52 seconds remaining in the half for Emmett Ward to try and find the end zone. His pass is away, complete to Samson Sachter. Sachter tackled before he could find the near sideline as the clock continues to run. Now 40 seconds to go in the half.
Nice adjustment by Barsby to go to this cover 2 man-to-man look. It has really done an excellent job of blanketing the Windsor receivers.
And no timeout for the Wolves. They go into hurry-up offense mode. Play underway. The pass is away, and that one sails right down the middle, incomplete. As Rondé Lyle playing both ways for the John Barsby Bulldogs.
Yeah, well, Justin, this is a playoff time, right? This is do or die, right? There's no tomorrow, right? Have you heard all those cliches before, right?
We talked about this as having the intensity of a championship game, and that's because if you're one of the teams in this game, it has to, right?
Absolutely.
The only way you make it to the championship game is by treating this game like it is for the championship.
Yeah, no question.
Emmett Ward taking the snap. 22 seconds remaining in the half. Pass intended for Liam Russell. Hits the turf incomplete, a little bit overthrown to that far sideline, going against the grain, as it were.
Yeah, the game plan again from Malcolm Allen was to exploit the flats, just try to clear out with the wide receiver and hit the breakouts. And Emmett has not been sharp throwing the breakout pass today. We know that they're going to come back to that in the second half, and they're not going to keep Emmett from completing that pass all game long.
And that actually was a turnover on downs, as the Windsor Wolves were going for it on fourth, and now it's the John Barsby Bulldogs who take possession with 17 seconds to go in the second quarter. Cohen could do. Scrambling out of pocket. Pulling an Emmett Ward and electing to hang on to the ball himself. Nearly picked up the 10 yards required for a fresh set of downs.
Brought down by the Dukes, number 68, Alan Kibben.
And I believe the John Barsby Bulldogs just called timeout as well to stop the clock with about 7 or 8 seconds to go here in the half.
Yeah, well, you can see that that's what, Rob Stevenson is elected to, try to take his chances and get the ball down the field, right? And that's exactly why they came out to their spread set. Usually they're in that double tight formation with one wide receiver, fullback, tailback, with Rondé Lyle as their tailback, and with Chris Cooper at fullback. But now they've got their spread set. They've gone into their trips formation, 3 wide receivers to the wide side of the field, 1 receiver to the kind of boundary side of the field. And, they've got some receivers. They've got some guys that can catch the ball. Again, Johnny Durkin and Kai, outstanding athletes that you just got to get the ball up to those guys.
Meanwhile, the Windsor Wolves defense hoping they can make one last stop here before heading into the half, down by 3. John Barsby with the lone touchdown in this game, but they were blocked on the kick attempt afterwards. Windsor with a field goal to their name, though they've been in striking distance on multiple occasions. Long bomb intended for Kai Redner-Bruckman, knocked out of the air by Cameron Cohen of the Windsor Wolves, and that is a big stop. Samson Sachter in the neighborhood to make that stop as well there. But a big play to end the half as the Windsor Wolves, with a great showing in terms of offensive yardage, unfortunately not able to translate that into any touchdowns as of yet. But still, 24 minutes left to play in this game, and it has been enormously exciting. I'm going to say it right now, Jay. That might be one of the best halves of football I have ever had the privilege to call in this building.
Yeah, absolutely. Both teams, the kids are just playing their hearts out. They're such a physical football game, and boy, we are seeing some talented athletes out there this afternoon.
We'll be back, of course, with the second half of this game before you know it, so go fix yourself a snack, grab a drink perhaps, enjoy some milk, of course, from BC Dairy. Why not? Justin Morissette and Jay Prepchuk will be back with more of this game at the half. It's the John Barsby Bulldogs 6, the Windsor Wolves. Yes, the Windsor Wolves 3.
bar shutting down, but we're staying. Yeah, we're staying. Only got so long till the morning comes, and life is too short to be wasted. So light me up, twist me something good, make it strong enough, last long enough before the night is up. Just give me something good, pour me all your love, make it strong enough. I'm never coming down. Ooh, make it strong.
Mama said there'll be days like this, there'll be days like this. Mama said, Mama said, Mama said, Mama said, Mama said, hey, don't you worry. Mama said, Mama said, hey, don't you worry now. Mama said, hey, hey, Mama said there'll be days like this.
This love is getting kind of dangerous. Feels like it's a loaded gun. My mind is turning like a cloud of dust. My heart always wants to run. Oh, if you want to cowboy on a wild horse, ride now into the sunset, if that's the kind of love you want to wait for. Hold on tight, girl, I ain't there yet. No, I ain't there yet. No, I ain't there yet. White someday, maybe you could have your way. Right now, just not the time. Some things a man just got to do. I wish you could change my mind. If you want a cowboy on a wild horse, ride now into the sunset, if that's the kind of love you want to wait for. Hold on tight, girl, I ain't there yet. No, I ain't there yet. No, I ain't there yet. White If you want a cowboy on a white horse, riding out into the sunset, if that's the kind of love you want to wait for. Hold on tight.
Okay, folks, welcome back where we are just moments away from kickoff in the second half of the action here from BC Place Stadium. Justin Morissette and Jay Prepchuk. The John Barsby Bulldogs taking on the Windsor Wolves in the AA varsity semifinal here at the 2023 BC High School Football Championships. These teams fighting for the right to move on and face the Vernon Panthers in the championship game 1 week from today here at BC Place, and it's Windsor kicking things off to get the second half started. The Wolves with a big boot that will go all the way down into the end zone and go for an automatic touchback. John Barsby set to begin the second half from their own 20-yard line, and it's Barsby in control at the moment, up 6-3 after the opening two quarters.
Yeah, absolutely. But it looked like we saw a little anger there from Emmett Ward as he kicked off the ball. We saw some tremendous kicking earlier by the Vernon Panthers, but Emmett Ward showed his talent. Of course, he's a great soccer player as a young boy growing up as well, and he was able to put that ball into the end zone as Barsby's going to start on their own 20-yard line.
So the Barsby Bulldogs will try to run it up the middle to begin the half, putting the ball right back into the hands of Rondé Lyle, who has quite an argument in his favor for being the most outstanding player in this game, at least through the opening half anyways. The only touchdown of the day does belong to Rondé Lyle, at least in this game. Anyway.
Absolutely. You're going to get a healthy feed of Rondé Lyle this second half, Justin.
As the Bulldogs go right back to the rush on first down again. False start, however, is the call assessed against Barsby.
Just a little bit anxious, just a little bit of early movement. Going to be interesting to see. It always is interesting to see at halftime, Justin, to see exactly what type of adjustments is Malcolm Allen going to be making, what type of adjustments is Rob Stevenson going to be making. Of course, with the 6-3 football game, both defenses have played very, very solidly. I'm sure Malcolm has, told Emmett just to kind of protect the football, and Rob Stevenson's message as usual, just pound the rock.
Both teams, though, I don't think really need to make huge adjustments either way. As you mentioned, the defenses have been very strong, coming up with big plays to prevent scoring once things do get near the end zone. But both teams have authored huge drives. The offenses have enjoyed great success, even if they don't have the points to show for it.
Yeah, absolutely. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of maybe offensive adjustments people have made then.
As the John Barsby Bulldogs try to keep this drive going and build on their narrow 3-point lead. A rush up the gut yet again, once more, in the hands of Rondé Lyle. And another short pickup for him.
Yeah, running over their big tackle, Mr. Dalton, Ryler Dalton, 6'8", 300 pounds. If you had a kid that size, Justin, wouldn't you run behind him as well?
I think so, yeah.
Absolutely.
I definitely tell him he should play football.
He is. And he's got a future star. He's got a future in football, Ryler Dalton.
Third down, 4 yards to a fresh set. As Cohen Cadu has largely elected to hand the ball off in this game. We haven't seen a ton of passes from the quarterback as he puts the ball right back into the hands of Rondé Lyle. And this time the Wolves can sniff that one from a mile away and wrap up Rondé at the line for a loss of 1 on the carry.
Just a counter play, trying to pull both the right guard and the right tackle to open up a hole for Rondé Lyle. But the Windsor Dukes interior defense does a nice job of penetrating and not allowing Lyle to get to that off-tackle hole.
Hayden Verador, one of the defensive players responsible for making that stop. As Barsby goes back to work, and they will kick it away here on 4th down. A long punt gathered in by Windsor at their own 24. And it's Samson Sachter on the kick return. We do have a flag on the field, however.
Yeah, that's going to come back here, Justin. That's going to come back.
If that is the case, that penalty flag likely assessed against the receiver, as there was nobody else really in that area. Indeed, it is a penalty against Windsor. I missed what the hand gesture was there.
Yeah, holding. We got a holding call against the Wolves.
Windsor Wolves being walked back from the spot of the foul, negating that Samson Sachter return and starting the Wolves off. I almost called them the Dukes there for a second as well. Falling into the same trap as UJ. They will begin this drive from their own 18, 1st and 10. Emmett Ward feeling the pressure, able to peel out of the pocket. He did finally elect to call his own number on a rush after he felt like the passing options were not materializing for him. He gets wrapped up early, however, a short gain of maybe 3 on the carry. They're going to actually spot him as a 4-yard gain, and it'll bring up 2nd and 6.
Yeah, nice job by Emmett. Just, again, showing patience. We know that in the first half he kind of forced the ball down the field a little bit, and the 2 interceptions by Johnny Durkin were a result of Emmett forcing the ball. So you know that Malcolm Allen reminded Emmett at halftime, just, hey, hang on to the ball, get a couple of yards, and just let's maintain possession of the football.
Not like Malcolm Allen needed halftime to have a word with his quarterback, as they just had a quick conference on the sideline ahead of this play. Once again, something that's been a regular occurrence throughout this game. That little shovel into the hands of Brady Smith pushes the ball forward another 3 yards or so and brings up 3rd down.
Yeah, a little toss play to the wide side of the field. The exact play that Barsby had created a turnover on in the second quarter, but this time Brady Smith is able to turn upfield and gain a couple of positive yards.
3rd down, ball on the 25, needs to get to the 28 for a fresh set. Emmett Ward takes the near snap, pressured right out of the gate and is wrapped up for a sack, a gang tackle, in fact, as I believe that was Sewanee Nakuna and a couple of other defenders as well, perhaps Carson Corbett-Smith among them.
Yeah, James Francis right in there too to make big plays. Again, there's your all-stars making big plays. Wow, Sewanee, nice job. Shows his quickness from that defensive tackle position. Provincial or league all-star this year. Sewanee was showing his great quickness coming in and making a big sack there. Again, both drives in the second half here, Justin, kind of slowing things down a little bit. Both defenses have we don't have anybody covering out here. Oh, now he comes.
Fourth down as Emmett Ward will punt this one away, and it's not often that we've seen the Windsor Wolves offense in a 3-and-out situation. In fact, that might be their first 3-and-out of the game, Jay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Speaks to the success that Emmett Ward has been having in this contest, even if it hasn't shown up on the scoreboard for him necessarily as of yet.
Here's a big play here, Justin. Looks like the Wolves are going to get called for possible illegal substitution. They're going to bring this back, and again, that was a big punt by Emmett there. It was a 53-yard punt. That's going to come back here. Let's see what the call is from Jamie Graham.
The officials continue to talk this one over. Ball has yet to be spotted. It remains in the hand of the official.
Well, Jamie Graham's coming over and talking to Rob Stevenson, of course, right? And talking to Rob Stevenson. This is going to be a pretty easy call for Rob Stevenson to take this penalty. I mean, a 50-yard punt would have put them way back on their own 28-yard line, and now this is going to be a substantially different field position for the Bulldogs here. As Johnny Durkin is going to attempt to catch this punt and see if he can get some positive yards, but certainly it looks like the Bulldogs are going to have the ball for their second possession of the second half inside the Wolves' territory.
And I don't even think the officials knew how many penalty yards were going to be attached to that, because it was originally walked back 5 yards, and then an extra 5 was tacked on top of that, a 10-yard penalty. And now Emmett Ward booting this one from all the way inside his own end zone.
There you go, Johnny.
Johnny Durkin off to the races in the other direction, trying to make his way back into that end zone. Can he get there? There are multiple penalty flags on the play, but Durkin finds the house, able to outrun Emmett Ward as the last line of defense. But I do believe that the quarterback knew this one was ultimately going to be called back. And in fact, Durkin gives the ball right back to Emmett Ward.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see if we can see this on the replay, but we're going to have a couple of illegal blocks here from the Bulldogs that's going to bring this back. But again, they're going to have pretty decent field position, even though they had a couple of clipping or holding penalties on this particular play. They're still going to be inside the Windsor Wolves territory here. Still pretty good field position starting at the 39-yard line.
As you say, nothing to sneeze at, but Johnny Durkin probably would like to have that special teams touchdown to his name today.
Yeah, that would have
on
been
top of the 2 interceptions that he's already accumulated. Been quite a day for him so far. As the Bulldogs go right back to the running game in the hands of Rondé Lyle. Lyle on first down will pick up 10 yards and move the sticks.
Wrapped up and brought out of bounds by number 6.
Barsby really coming to life here in quarter number 3, which is not to say that they were not alive in the first half, but they are smothering Windsor.
Absolutely. Nice tackle by Oliver Sawyer, number 6 for the Wolves, but you don't want to have your defensive backs making all the tackles.
Going right back to that run game in the hands of Rondé Lyle once more. And he's busting loose. Can he go all the way to the end zone? No, forced out of bounds just shy of the 5, but a great rush nevertheless. And now the Bulldogs are knocking on the door trying to find the house once more.
Yeah, nice job of pulling. Right guard, number 62 for John Barsby, does a nice job. Tyrone Reynolds, nice block there, Tyrone, pulling to his right-hand side, opening up a big seam for Rondé Lyle. And, you know, Rondé Lyle, Justin, does not need a huge seam there to make things happen. He can just, you know, a very, very small seam with his quickness and his power. He gets through that hole so quickly.
He is one of the smallest players on the field, but good luck trying to stop him, as his rushing attempt halted by a penalty flag this time.
Early movement by Barsby. That'll bring the ball back 5 yards.
Procedure call again.
First and goal from the 9-yard line.
Just a little bit anxious there. Again, big penalty, though. Putting the ball back on the 9-yard line. Still goal to goal, first down.
It is interesting, though. I'm thinking back to the Grade 8 championship game that we called this morning, of course, Jay, where Rogan Bromley was seemingly unstoppable as a running back in that one for the Vancouver College Fighting Irish Grade 8s. And it's another unstoppable running back now for the John Barsby Bulldogs. Number 11, Rondé Lyle, who finds the end zone for the second time today. He's got both touchdowns in this game. But a very, very different player profile and the type of running back from what we saw earlier in the day in that Grade 8 championship game.
Yeah, absolutely. Just hitting the hole so quickly, and we knew that he was going to be a major factor in this football game. Again, over 1,300 yards this year, 1,376 yards for Rondé Lyle, provincial all-star.
2-point conversion is good.
This time, having been denied on the kick attempt after their first touchdown, the Bulldogs go for the 2-point convert in the hands of the man who scored both TDs. And Rondé Lyle makes good, finds the house again. The 2 points are good. And it's Barsby up 14-3 with 6:13 remaining here in quarter number 3.
Yeah, nice job again. That offensive line of John Barsby, the strength of this team. As I mentioned earlier, Rob Stevenson has these young men lifting weights all year round. He's got a great lifting program. I've been in his weight room. He's got all the records up on the boards. A very motivational kind of area for the kids to come in and see, and hey, this guy's bench press was this, or this guy squatted this, or this guy power cleaned this. And again, it's a special area. Not a big school. Again, Barsby's, you know, similar to the Chaco Valley in the sense that there's not a lot of kids at John Barsby High School, but the kids that they have out there playing football are very dedicated, and it all comes from the top. It all comes from Mr. Stevenson doing an outstanding job, a long time head football coach of the John Barsby Bulldogs.
Manzanobi with the kick as Barsby attempts an onside kick. Quickly jumped on by the Windsor Wolves, who will now look to capitalize with strong field position as a result of where they were able to grab that ball.
Yeah, nice job by the upback, number 30 for the Wolves, Hayden Lambert. Nice job, Hayden, of securing that football for your offense.
The Wolves have largely been hemmed deep in their own zone here in the second half offensively. Their previous drive, a 3-and-out, their first of the day. Emmett Ward set to take a long snap. Gathers it in. Scrambles out of the pocket. Passes across the body. Connects with Brady Smith. Smith scampering to that far sideline, and a pickup of about 8 or so on first down. Not bad at all for the Windsor Wolves.
I like the call. A little rollout pass to the right-hand side from Emmett Ward, and coming back, and just a little slipstream. Very, very well executed play. The Wolves have a couple of linemen out there blocking ahead of Brady, and nice pickup of 8 yards.
Two very different offenses. Windsor built around their passing game. Barsby around the rush. Emmett Ward pressured in the pocket again, and he will be brought down for a sack, wrapped up by number 54, James Francis. And after a big pickup on first down, that will wipe that out and then some.
You know, James Francis from his defensive end position, look at him, looks like a young Bosa coming off the edge there with a little inside rip move with that left arm, doing a great job of beating the left tackle of the Windsor Wolves and coming in and having it's a huge sack for the John Barsby Bulldogs. Number 54, James Francis, you've made a couple of big plays tonight, son. Good job. 11
yards lost on that one as the Wolves go from 2nd and 2 to 3rd and 13. As Ward will fake the handoff and elect to run the ball himself. He's got one man to beat as he looks to pick up a fresh set of downs. Cannot get in front of him, however. Brought down inside the 50. He's at the Barsby 47 and will likely still need a good 3 yards to a fresh set of downs. That brings up 4th, and I wonder what the Wolves will do
they're
here.
Going. Yeah, Malcolm, taking a look at Malcolm on the sidelines there. He's going right away. He knows he's gonna go for this on 4th and 3. Talk about a huge play. 4 minutes left in the third quarter, Justin. We've got a huge play by the Windsor Wolves here going for it on 4th and 4.
As Malcolm Allen gave his message to Samson Sachter, who carries it back to the huddle to Emmett Ward.
A little hook pattern, a little 5-yard hook curl.
Ward takes the snap, fakes the handoff.
Wow.
Likes to run the ball himself.
He's
and the quarterback is swarmed immediately. Stopped up just past the line of scrimmage. A turnover on downs. As John Barsby, the job that they have done here on defense in quarter number 3, Jay, has been nothing short of remarkable. And we might have an injury right now to Emmett Ward.
Yeah, it looks like Emmett's down right now. Boy. That's just tremendous pursuit, tremendous tackling from the John Barsby Bulldog defense, and let's just hope that Emmett Ward's able to get up quickly here. Kind of quiets the crowd down, that's for sure.
It sure does, because this game had been terrific entertainment no matter which side you're cheering for, and Emmett Ward obviously a huge part of that.
Yeah. And there's the purple jerseys. Vancouver College Fighting Irish warming up to our right-hand side in the end zone. And here comes the Rutland Voodoo, going to warm up to our left-hand side in their all-white jerseys. Big matchup coming up. Rutland from Kelowna, of course, had a big victory over Kelowna Secondary School last week in the quarterfinal, earned their berth into the semifinal, and that's going to be a good game coming up. We got Carter Cook, the grade 10 quarterback, has showed his stuff in the last few weeks for Rutland, and Finn Tisdale has continued to lead his Vancouver College Fighting Irish from the quarterback position with Vancouver College. Second-year starter, grade 12 quarterback, of course, for Vancouver College, and here's some good news there, right here.
Yeah, as Emmett Ward makes his way to the sidelines, under his own power, not helped by a trainer at all, looking no worse for wear, just shaken up perhaps, needed to catch his breath after a lung blower or a stinger, one of those perhaps. He looks like he will return to this game, and that's some good news to be sure. In the meantime, however, Rondé Lyle going right back to work as the straw that stirs the drink for the John Barsby Bulldogs.
Yeah, it hurts a little more when you get injured and you haven't made the first down, right? That's for sure. So, again, tough defense, great pursuit from that John Barsby defense that we have known over the last many years.
Cohen Cadu hands the ball off to Rondé Lyle yet again. And Lyle trying to push up the middle, will pick up at least 3 yards on that carry. And I'll take this opportunity, Jay, to let you know, we heard back in the first half your name get mentioned by the PA announcer here in the building as a possible answer to a trivia question, which you did indeed turn out to be the answer to. We did not know what the question was, however, and I can relay that to you now. The question was, who was responsible for resurrecting the Windsor Dukes football program from 1987 to 1998? Lots of 4 possible answers there, including Joe Bell. But the answer, of course, was none other than the fellow sitting next to me, Jay Prepchuk.
Oh, Mr. Prescott over there is
Having a little fun.
having a little bit of fun over there. Those guys are great guys. And, yeah, great memories from the Dukes at that time, and had some great people working with us, that's for sure, Justin.
Right now, however, it's the John Barsby Bulldogs. As who else would it be making those kind of plays happen other than Rondé Lyle, the guy whose name I feel like we've been saying all game long?
Yeah, it's pretty simple. The recipe is pretty simple. And when you talk to Malcolm Allen from the Windsor Wolves, of course, what's the first thing that he said to me all week? Stop the power run game. Force them laterally. Patience on offense. So all things that really haven't come true for the Windsor Wolves. And that's a key, when you have a power run game like that, they want to plug the initial hole. They want to plug the hole at the point of attack, the POA. They want to plug that hole up, and they want, Rondé to bounce it to the outside, right? And that just has not been the case today.
Or even, make the run a little difficult for them so that they have to go to the passing arm of Cohen Cadu a little bit to at least make you question as to whether they're going to be running every play. And it doesn't seem to matter, really. The Barsby Bulldogs are running constantly, and it is working for them constantly, as Barsby able to recover that loose ball on a fumble there after a brief pickup of a pair of yards. It'll bring up 3rd and 5 from the 23.
Mr. Dalton, Ryler Dalton, number 75, the right tackle who pulled on that particular play, does a good job of alertly jumping on that football.
Because we are nearly at the end of the third quarter here, Jay, and I feel like you could probably count the number of Cohen Cadu pass attempts in this game on one hand. Meanwhile, that handoff led to a fumble, and it's the Windsor Wolves who are first to jump on it.
Oh, there is a huge, huge play. Fumble on little. Trying to have that inside handoff to number 9 for Barsby, Cole Jacques. Yeah, trying to get Cole the ball today. And Devin Kotar was right there to jump on that loose ball. Boy, what a break for the Windsor Wolves
and
here.
We have seen a number of turnovers in this game already. A pair of big interceptions, some fumbles, some turnovers on downs. Those have been the defensive stops by and large throughout this contest that have held the Windsor Wolves out of the end zone. We'll see how much longer that proves to be the case, however, as Windsor going right back to work on offense after jumping on that fumble. And it's Brady Smith who will pick up 10 yards on the carry. Not a bad way to start the drive at all. Move the sticks, why not?
Yeah, again, nice job by that offensive line of the Windsor Wolves opening up a big seam. And Brady Smith, the talented running back that he is, he does not need a lot of room to make big plays. Another grade 11. You got Brady Smith coming back next year. You got Emmett Ward coming back. The Wolves are going to be strong again next year.
Big things ahead for this Windsor Wolves program. They're hoping there's still big things in their future next Saturday.
Yeah, of course, they won the championship last year, the JV AA championship last year. The Windsor Wolves were successful in winning that game, and Emmett Ward, of course, a big part of that victory last year.
And I believe you and I called that game together, in fact, which is a big reason why a lot of these names are still familiar to me here today with the number of players who were in the JV game last year. These grade 11s taking on starring roles for the Windsor Wolves this season.
Absolutely. And, again, it's that hard work, that hard dedication. There's lots of, it's a chance to mention right now, Team BC is happening out there. So you young fellows out there that want to try out for Team BC, there's tryouts coming up across the province, Vancouver, Victoria, Kelowna, and Nanaimo. Check the BCPFA website for tryouts, so you can try out for Team BC and represent British Columbia in the Western Canada Challenge this summer, and also the Canada Cup for the U18s. All sorts of things. CFC, the Fox 40 Showcase. Dino Jeremia Showcase March the middle of March in Richmond. The top prospects will be playing in that game. So hopefully some of you young football players will be able to participate in the Fox 40 Showcase March 15th to 17th this spring.
Quarter number 4 about to begin here as teams have changed sides following that last play at the end of the third. And a bit of a wild snap is gathered in by Emmett Ward. He looks downfield. His pass connects right down the middle with a player who is still on his feet. Finally taken down, Cameron Cohen. He may be small, but he is tough to take off his feet, I can tell you that.
Absolutely. Boy, Cameron Cohen, who averaged 22 yards a catch this season, did a great job on that post pattern. How about that throw? Kind of Mahomes-ish with Emmett Ward rolling out to his left-hand side, throwing the ball across the field on that post pattern, putting the ball right on the money with lots of zip. Great play by Emmett Ward. Cam Cohen, nice catch.
This is the exact kind of drive that the Windsor Wolves were hoping to offer, as they will continue it with a big rushing play right up the gut. Brady Smith off to the races, and he will find the house. The Windsor Wolves have their first touchdown of the game.
Wow, is that a huge play after the turnover from John Barsby? Just when John Barsby's driving down the field looking like they're going to take control of this football game, fumble on the play. The Wolves recover and march all the way down the field to score a touchdown. 47 yards. Brady Smith, the outstanding league all-star running back in his division, just showing his power, showing his strength. He was not going to be denied that goal line.
And remember, Jay, we are just a few minutes removed from thinking that Emmett Ward's afternoon was done. He was down on the turf. He was not moving for a good long while. Looked like an injury may remove him from this game. Instead, he authors the drive here in the first minute of the fourth quarter that finally gets the Wolves into the end zone.
Right, interesting call here. My two-point sheet here says to possibly go for 2. Oh, there they are.
Fake it. Faking the kick attempt, but
get it away.
Emmett Ward feeling big pressure right now as he scrambles to the other side of the field. Can he get this ball away? The pass is in the air, and it's intercepted. Impressive job from Emmett Ward to get that pass off at all. Unfortunately, the point after attempt, the 2-point convert try, is denied.
Yeah, good call there. I wondered if Barsby, really knew that. Again, in your 2-point sheet that you have, if you're up by 5 points, if you're down by 5 points, you definitely a 1-point convert does not help you in this case at all. So direct snap to your kicker or your quarterback, and just doing it all on his own. Again, the outstanding pursuit from one of the defensive players that has just had himself a heck of a football game. James Francis, the number 54, the defensive end for the John Barsby Bulldogs, has just been all over the field in pursuit of Emmett Ward tonight.
And what a game this has been. We're talking at the half off the air. I think I've been doing this job 6-7 seasons or so now. I think this might be one of the best games I've ever had the luxury of calling. As this has been a real treat in terms of entertainment value.
Yeah, it really has. And, 14-9, it's obviously a low-scoring game, but the action back and forth, I'd like to know what the total yardage is for each football team, because they have been able to march the ball up and down the field, both teams.
As the Wolves will kick this away, and the kick return begins for the Barsby Bulldogs deep in their own zone. They're able to get it as far as the 33 in the hands of Kai Redner-Bruckman.
Yeah, dangerous player. We haven't seen much of Kai as on the receiving end, but as a receiver, he's has close to 500 yards this year in receiving the football. And one thing that really sticks out with Kai is his average of 21.3 per catch. Outstanding athlete. Kai is one young man that has a bright future in football.
As the Barsby Bulldogs go back to work on offense, beginning this drive from their own 34-yard line. First play does not go very far as Rondé Lyle is stopped up after a 2-yard carry. Actually, 3.5 yards, we'll call it. But that's still short for his average.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice tackle in there by number 52, Peyton Ruggles, from that middle linebacker position. Peyton did a nice job of wrapping up Rondé and limiting that gain on first down.
Cohen Cadeau takes the snap, hands the ball off again for another rush up the gut in the hands of Rondé Lyle. This time he will pick up 10, and that will move the 6 and then some.
Just so difficult to stop that interior run game from Barsby. You know, those young men are pulling guards and fullback leading the way when you've got a physical fullback and Chris Cooper leading the way up the hole, and you've got an outstanding tailback that just hits the hole so quickly. It's so hard to defend against this power running game from the John Barsby Bulldogs that we've been so familiar with over the years.
And there's huge size on the line opening up those holes for Barsby as well. Tyrone Reynolds, definitely a guy who was jumping out at me on that last play in terms of his sheer physicality and size, but you need those beefy boys to open up holes for Rondé Lyle to do what he can do.
Yeah, and as we mentioned, you know, Rob Stevenson, the great coach, of course, with John Barsby. I mean, he just, you know, he's got a passion for football. He's got a passion for these kids. He cares. He loves these kids, and, you know, really does a great job with them in the weight room and getting them prepared for a football season.
Ryler Dalton and Chandler Owens, two guys who probably deserve some love on that front as well, opening those holes on the offensive line for Rondé Lyle to do his thing, as he will try to do it yet again here. Stopped up after a short gain.
Yeah, now we're starting to really take a look at that clock. Just under 9 minutes as it's ticking down, and you know the Barsby Bulldogs are watching that clock as well and just taking their time getting in the huddle. They're looking at the shot clock. They're looking at the huddle clock. They want to take it all the way down and just waste as much time as they possibly can.
Cohen Cadeau not handing the ball off. This time he does elect to throw, something that we haven't seen very much from him today, and he connects with Cole Jacques. Jacques, who was the man who could not handle that handoff on the fumble that led to the Windsor touchdown. This time he redeems himself with a big grab on 3rd and long that will move the sticks all the way down to the 30.
Yeah, I love the play action call. I love the call by Coach Stevenson there to run a little play action. Coach Cooper there, they're running a little bit of play action pass. We can see Jeremy Kahn in there as well, helping out these Barsby Bulldogs. A longtime Bolinas Whaler coach is adding some experience as well to this football staff. And boy, there's some coaches there that a lot of years of coaching experience, and you can certainly tell now that you know, they're going to just take a timeout. They want to see exactly where they're at. It looks like Malcolm Allen possibly called timeout. But I love the call. I love the bootleg call. You know, just everybody really watching Rondé Lyle, and when they fake the ball to him up the middle, all those linebackers bite up on him, and Cole Jacques just releasing to the outside, hitting the flat, and doing a nice job of picking up a big first down for the John Barsby Bulldogs.
It was indeed Rob Stevenson, actually, I should say, Jay, who called timeout for the John Barsby Bulldogs this time around, though you're right, Malcolm Allen was pretty eager to get out there and take advantage of it as well.
Oh, absolutely. Anytime you can coach, you get out there and do it.
1st and 10 now from the 30 as the Barsby Bulldogs look to stretch their lead with 8:15 to go here in the 4th quarter. We do have a flag on the play, though, immediately off the snap, and a whistle sounds to halt that play dead in its tracks.
Boy, just another procedure call. What is that now? How many 5 or 6 procedure calls against the Bulldogs today that just drives coaches crazy?
As the Windsor Wolves players are trying to engage their fans in the stands to make as much noise as possible. And you're hearing it on the broadcast at home, folks.
Yeah,
the Windsor faithful are sounding about 4 times as large as they really are right now. They are filling the space in this building in a big way. And this time we have another penalty flag. But I believe it's going to go against the defense this time around.
Yeah, you're right. The Windsor Wolves, the Windsor parents have been always so supportive of their football program over the years. And again, it takes the coaches, the players, the parents, all the support, administrators, John McGowan, the principal, Steve Martin, the sponsor. Those folks are vital to the success of this football team.
Rondé Lyle able to dodge a tackle attempt as he nearly had his ankles wrapped up early there by Colton Dixon of Windsor, but he was able to just step right over that, re-find his footing. Luckily, there were a number of other Wolves able to make the tackle not long after.
Yeah, nice job by Colton Dixon just to kind of force the play to the outside there. And again, that's exactly what Malcolm Allen, the head coach of the Windsor Wolves, said all week. He said, we've got to get Rondé Lyle running laterally. We can't allow him to get north and south.
Cameron Cohen ultimately the player to push Lyle out of bounds. They go right back to Rondé Lyle. And here's the thing about the success that Rondé Lyle has enjoyed today, Jay. It's not like it's a surprise that he's the guy who's going to be carrying the ball. And it's not exactly a surprise where he's going to be taking it either. Like you said, they know exactly what he wants to do. He's a north-south player, wants to run it right up the middle. And he has been able to do so pretty well at will throughout this contest. Yeah, very impressive.
Tyrone Reynolds, the right guard, pulling and cutting up the hole, has been very effective tonight as well as from an offensive line position.
3rd and 5 as they try to force it up the gut in the hands of Rondé Lyle once again. And I believe that will be enough to move the sticks. Actually, that was not Rondé Lyle. This time it was Colton Finstad. Yeah. And it is indeed enough for another Barsby first down.
Absolutely. Colton, the outstanding linebacker, also getting a little bit of work from his getting a little bit of work at fullback right now, in for getting Mr. Cooper a little bit of a break here. But again, just power football from Barsby.
We go right back to the rush once more. Cohen Cadu did come through with a huge pass on this drive on a 3rd and long situation. But by and large, they have been electing to run the ball more often than not, the Barsby offense.
Boy, we're just seeing some outstanding grit from both of these football teams right now, Justin. Just these young men are giving it all they have and just outstanding effort.
As all these rushing attempts from Barsby are doing a great job of keeping the clock running and eating up time, with the Bulldogs enjoying a narrow 5-point lead at the moment as well.
Yeah, Barsby just trying to outman the Windsor Wolf defense, running a little bit of unbalanced formation here and just pounding the rock, pound. They're, again, what they're famous for, and they're going to continue to run over their left side of their offensive line and just hope they get a couple of more first downs and put this game away.
3rd down right now. They need 4 more yards to a fresh set as they try to run it once more. And it is Rondé Lyle stopped up before he can go very far. On a big effort. We'll take another look at it here.
Coming up for the Bulldogs.
I was not able to read the number on the Wolves
number
sweater.
Number 88. Hayden's doing a good job tonight. Hayden from that defensive end position. You made a lot of big plays.
Hayden Verador having himself quite an afternoon. As Caden Cadu looks to the end zone, and he does connect with Kai Redner-Bruckman, a guy that we've been talking about positively throughout this game, Jay. He really has not had very many looks as a receiver, but that's a big one right there at a huge time to stretch the John Barsby Bulldogs lead.
Wow, just Cohen showing his patience and his poise from his quarterback position. I talked to Cohen throughout the week, and I said to him, who's your favorite receiver? And he said, oh, Kai's my guy, right? Kai is my favorite receiver. We haven't really seen too much of Kai as a receiver today. He almost had 500 yards receiving this year, but, when the important plays come around, and it was just Cohen, showing from his quarterback position the patience as he runs his bootleg pass to the right-hand side and hitting it. The front side guy's not there. Front side receiver's not there. Coming back to the backside. Kai running the backside post, getting across the field. Here's your replay. Boy, that was a perfect pass to a tremendous athlete. And boy, I tell you, that is just a huge play by the John Barsby Bulldogs. I love the call. I love getting Cohen out of the pocket. I love the bootleg call on that particular play. Big play for the Bulldogs to go up 21-9 now.
And ultimately, if the Windsor Wolves can march down the field on this next drive and find the end zone, they may still come up short. And on a day where the John Barsby Bulldogs meal ticket, by and large, has been their running game, play in and play out, it may ultimately prove to be the passing arm of Cohen Cadu that just stamped their ticket to the championship game against the Vernon Panthers.
Absolutely.
What a game this has been. And we hope Windsor has some more magic up their sleeve with 5:15 to go to make what has been a very entertaining game even more entertaining down the home stretch here. Little over 5 minutes left to play as the Windsor Wolves are wrapped up on the kick return. Just shy of their own 30. They'll begin this drive from the 28.
First down, Windsor Wolves.
Okay, here we go, Windsor Wolves. You've got your work cut out for you. Let's see if you've got your hurry-up offense. You got to get down the field. You got to score twice now to be in this football game. Let's see if Emmett Ward can lead his team down the field here with only 5 minutes and 11 seconds left. The Dukes, the Wolves, got to score twice.
Emmett Ward takes the snap. He's looking long downfield. There's a flag on the play. Ward now peeling out of the pocket towards the far sideline, scrambling, elects to run the ball himself. He'll go out of bounds after a pickup of maybe 3 on the carry. But again, we'll wait and see who this penalty flag is assessed against. I have a feeling it doesn't really matter what Emmett Ward elected to do there.
Yeah, usually a holding call in this situation.
Holding against the Windsor Wolves.
And indeed, it is a holding call being assessed against Windsor.
That's going to back the Wolves up at a crucial time here. Maybe look for them to come back with one of those well-designed screen passes, try to get the ball into Brady Smith's hands in open field, just try to nullify that real physical pursuing defense from John Barsby here. Barsby in their prevent 3-man rush. They're in that cover 2 look. They're going to be backing off here.
I wouldn't be surprised, though. It is first down, first and long. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a run right here. As they go skyward ultimately in the end. Pass intended for Liam Russell falls incomplete. I think if it were me, I might have just put the ball in the hands of Brady Smith out of the backfield and try and let him catch the defense by surprise with a rush on first down there.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's going to be really tough to get the ball down the field because, as we mentioned, Barsby's in that almost a prevent look. It's kind of a cover 4 look where the corners are backing off. The 2 free safeties are not going to let anything in behind them. Linebackers are certainly going to get lots and lots of depth, and they're only rushing 3 players right now. They're only rushing 3 defensive linemen.
Quarterback, lone man back. Oh, no. Had a man in motion, tried to just toss that one into the hands of Brady Smith, but he couldn't hang on to it. And that might have been a little too fancy.
Yeah, but you're right, though. You're right, trying to get the ball into the hands of their playmaker, Brady Smith. And, again, just a little miscue there from the Wolves. They got to get something here on third down, Justin.
Third and very long. 20 yards to a fresh set. They're currently on their own 18-yard line. As Emmett Ward scrambles out of his sideline meeting with head coach Malcolm Allen, breaks the huddle. Less than 5 minutes left to play in this game. The John Barsby Bulldogs with a 12-point lead, up 21-9 with 4:48 remaining, as Emmett Ward just lost his footing and downed himself inside his own 10-yard line. That is a awful break for Windsor.
Yeah, just a great play, though. The defender that made the play here. Again, number 55, the all-star, showing his quickness. Sewanee did not allow Emmett Ward to get to the outside. And, again, just an excellent play by Sewanee to make sure that Emmett didn't get outside the pocket.
Sewanee Nakuna, who has been a real difference maker on the defensive line throughout this game. Fourth down, 30 yards to go.
Timeout. Windsor Wolves.
As the Windsor Wolves try to settle things down here. Malcolm Allen, perhaps sensing his team is coming unglued, elects to call timeout with just under 4 minutes left to play.
Proud to support BC school sports. On behalf of BC dairy farmers, we are dedicated to supporting student athletes across the province. And build
Get a chance to mention the next ball game coming up. Excuse me. Justin, you're off the circuit next.
I'm
you're
really done. Yes.
There you go. We got the man Jake coming in to do his thing. It's been a pleasure to work with you again, Justin, and looking forward to next weekend. Another big day of football at BC Place next Saturday.
I'm really looking forward to that All-Star game. That's always a highlight for me.
It is, yeah.
'Cause you just get to talk up all your friends throughout that game.
Well, I tell you, I talked to Zach Kremler earlier in the week, and he said, yeah, we're excited, same format. All those university coaches that are going to be here throughout the week coaching those young men are very fortunate to get coached up by some outstanding university coaches. Oh.
Trick play here from the Wolves as they look to come up with some huge yardage, and unfortunately are stopped up well shy of what they needed. Unfortunately, if you're cheering for the Windsor Wolves in this one, very fortunate if you happen to be rooting for the John Barsby Bulldogs. As we take another look at it here, this trick play that did wind up in the hands of Brady Smith, but he's stopped up at the 22 in a situation where he needed to get closer to the 40 to be able to keep the drive alive.
Yeah, big stop by Barsby. But again, you look at a situation where you're fourth and, over 15, 20 yards. There's not too many plays in the playbook.
Fourth and 30.
Fourth and 30, exactly. Thanks, Justin. Fourth and a long way to go. All I knew was that.
Fourth and way long as the Bulldogs put the ball right back into the hands of Rondé Lyle. He is going east to west this time and finally forced out of bounds by Samson Sachter. Nice little pickup, however, for a man with 2 touchdowns on the day.
Yeah, again, you just can't give enough credit to that offensive line. It's just busting all day long and opening up holes. And, a player that doesn't get a lot of credit, but, number 4, the fullback is, Chris Cooper doesn't get a lot of carries, doesn't get a lot of touches, doesn't get a lot of credit, but that fullback is the guy that really makes this offense go.
Cohen Cadu with a pass that was intended for Kai Redner-Bruckman. He's the other guy with a touchdown in this game. And it sails over his fingers, incomplete.
Yeah. Cohen getting a chance, again, with this offense as a quarterback, sometimes you don't get a chance to see the, to be able to throw the football very much, right, as he grinds out the clock here and is, handing off the ball primarily most of the game. But we know that he's a talented quarterback, and he certainly has shown that this year when he's got receivers that have averaged, 21. Kai has averaged 21.3 yards per catch. Koljak is averaging 16.3 yards per catch this year. Johnny Durkin, he's got some talented football players as the receiver position at the receiver positions.
That's an incredible stat for Kai Redner-Bruckman, to be north of 21 yards per catch.
Per catch.
Averaging
23 catches this year too, right? It's not like they had 3 or 4 catches, right? And had a couple of big plays, right? He had, some big plays. And again, when I talked to Cohen this week, he said that Kai was his guy. Kai was his main receiver. Get a chance to thank BC School Sports for their outstanding support throughout these high school football players. They're busy people these days. All the different provincial championships going on, soccer, field hockey, volleyball. Wow, I don't know how they do it.
And as you took that chance, Rondé Lyle took the opportunity to find the end zone for the third time today, as the John Barsby Bulldogs have stretched their lead here in the late stages of quarter number 4. Less than 3:30 to go on the clock, and it's Barsby 27, the Windsor Wolves 9. Rondé Lyle going to spot this kick as well. Very nearly blocked yet again, but this time the kick is away and good.
3 minutes and 28 seconds left in the fourth quarter. John Barsby
Yeah, we get a chance to kind of preview this next football game coming up. Again, we've got the Rutland Voodoo. Pete McCall, boy, has he done an outstanding job in Kelowna getting this football team prepared for the season. And again, just done a great job of putting together a fine football team. Ty Walker, one of the outstanding players who started the season at quarterback and now moved to receiver with the outstanding play of grade 10 quarterback Carter Cook, who I've had a chance to coach in the past. And again, they've had all sorts of success and a great season. And then, of course, we've got Vancouver College, Fighting Irish. Brian Chu, Ron Turner, and the gang are all ready to put on another show for their fans. We always get a great group of fans, of course, supporting from Vancouver College. We saw there was a fan bus that came in, a perfect time actually for Kelowna to be playing. I think that fan bus left this morning. Hopefully they had safe travels through the Coquihalla and watch the game and get back into their own beds tonight. So Kelowna fans, Kelowna Rutland fans, thank you for being here today, and hopefully we see a great football game coming up this afternoon at 4 o'clock.
Barsby's short kick is recovered by number 20.
As the Vancouver College Fighting Irish looking for their second win of the day. Of course, the grade 8s were victorious in the grade 8 championship game earlier today. I believe that's the Bantam ranks is what they're officially called.
Yeah, the grade 8. I know in the old days we did, we used to call it Bantam football. That's right. But now, of course, it's just the, there's the man, Mr. Jake coming in, prepared for the next game, getting his voice all ready.
Already a victorious day, though, for Vancouver College, the point I'm trying to make here, as they look for a second win coming up in game number 4 today. In the meantime, we still have 3 minutes and 20 seconds left to play in game number 3, as the Windsor Wolves refuse to go down without a fight. They may be trailing by 19 points on the board, but do not count them out just yet. This is a group that is going to fight to the bitter end, and they have been very, very good in this game, despite what the scoreboard might tell you.
Oh, absolutely. And as we mentioned, at halftime, what was it, 6-3 at halftime, right? Even though, as we talked about, Justin, we said that, really it's one of the most entertaining games that we've seen in many, many years. And both teams being just so well coached, so well prepared that it was just an exciting first half, even though it was a low-scoring football game. We just were treated to some excellent football.
Absolutely. Costly turnovers for both sides, preventing the score from being higher than it was through the first 2 quarters. But a great success from both of these offenses in marching the ball down the field. They just were getting denied outside of the end zone every single time. A very entertaining opening half, and it's been a very entertaining second half as well, even though I'm sure if you're cheering for the Windsor Wolves, you might not agree with that assessment. This has been quite a football game here today, and it still has a little under 3 minutes left to go. Emmett Ward takes the snap, steps back, assesses his options, now peels out of the pocket to the left, gets that pass away. He is complete to Cameron Cohen, who's brought down at the 36 and will move the sticks for a Wolves first down.
Yeah, one of the plays that Emmett really loves to run, outside post, inside slants, or outside slants and inside push routes. And as I said, Emmett talked about that early in the week with me. I said, what's your favorite route? And he said, well, like doubles formation, 2x2, wide receivers running quick slants, but if they don't get the ball, they're going to run right up the seam, kind of like a sluggo. Inside guys are running flat, kind of push routes. If they don't get the ball, they're going to turn up on wheel routes. So one of his favorite routes, and we just saw them complete that pass on the last play.
And we've talked about the fact that Emmett Ward, the star quarterback for this Windsor program, is a grade 11. This is not his final kick at the can, and if it ends in disappointment, which it looks like it might in another 2 minutes and 34 seconds, this might be the loss that motivates him next season to go on a dominant tear with the Windsor Wolves, because he is surgical. He can really pick the field apart with his precision as a passer. We've seen it throughout this game. He's had some unlucky breaks, of course. Those 2 interceptions from Johnny Durkin to keep this game as low scoring as it was in the first half. But take nothing away from the effort of the quarterback. Emmett Ward has been outstanding for Windsor in this game.
Yeah, he really has. Just showing his tremendous talent. I've had a chance to coach him throughout the years, and just an outstanding young man who's a real sponge. He really wants to get better. He wants to learn. He's just so coachable, and of course has a great passion for football.
As he takes the snap and gets that pass away almost immediately to the far sideline, trying to connect with Xavier Washington. Washington able to hang on to the ball, but he can't go very far with it.
Yeah, a play that they had success with earlier in the ball game against that kind of cover 3 look from the John Barsby Bulldogs, where the corners are just playing off a little bit. And again, right now they are in their prevent look, and they're just know that they're not going to let anything in behind them.
I thought he was able to hang on to it anyways. Not sure if that was no gain on the reception or if that ball was dug loose before it was ruled a complete catch. Either way, 2nd and 10. No yards gained on first down. As Emmett Ward steps back once more, looks downfield, feels the pressure in the pocket. Cuts towards the near sideline. He's scrambling. He elects to run the ball himself and will go out of bounds near the 25.
Yeah, Emmett Ward just giving it all right now, being patient in the pocket. And, we talked about the fact that he threw a couple interceptions in the first half, but you can see that, he's kind of learned from his mistakes in the first half and being a lot more patient. And with Barsby dropping back into that prevent look, only rushing three men and really dropping 8 guys back into coverage, it's very, very difficult to find the seams, very, very difficult to find an open receiver, as Barsby is just so disciplined, as always, on defense.
3rd down. 3 yards to go from the 27 as Emmett Ward looks skyward once more, but a little bit overthrown. He was hoping to connect with Liam Russell on that one. Incomplete, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Yeah, running Liam across the formation, just running a little bit of a wheel route there to try to get him in the open space there, and just a little bit of an overthrow, but again, good coverage from John Barsby Bulldogs.
I remember as well, Emmett Ward has taken some real hard knocks in this game and stayed in it. He is battling to the bitter end. 2:12 to go in the 4th quarter. And likely 2:12 to go in the Windsor Wolves season. As Ward has time, feels pressure, gets the ball away, and oh no! Cameron Cohen had that in his hands, just could not hang on to it. That looked like the definition of a hot potato catch right there.
Yeah, just kind of looked upfield a little bit before he had possession of that football and just could not quite squeeze it. But Emmett doing a nice job of getting the ball out, and I think it would have been real close to a 1st down, and certainly, a play that Cam Cohen would like to have back.
Turnover on downs. Barsby Bulldogs take possession with a little over 2 minutes left to play.
The nice banners are all set up here at BC Place, kind of showing our sponsors here. Bauden Footballs, as we talked about. Uber Teen Accounts. We've got the BC Lions. Thank you for all your support. Mr. Dolman, a great owner of our BC Lions. Barron Championship rings. Going to be awarded next weekend. BC Place, thank you for all your support, sponsorship over the many, many years. It's going to be interesting to see next year what's going to happen. Grey Cup is going to be in Vancouver next year. So though the Grey Cup is usually the third week in November, hopefully we can still come into the Dome and enjoy being in BC Place for the semifinal and the final. But Grey Cup next year right here, Justin.
That'll just be the first weekend of a 3-week party under the Dome as far as football fans in British Columbia are concerned. Fingers crossed that the timing still works out.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sure it will.
And remember, next Saturday, we haven't got the time set yet, but it looks like the first game next week will be, I guess it's safe to say, is it not safe to say, that the Vernon Panthers will be playing John Barsby? Are we good with that?
I think so. I think so.
No disrespect to the Wolves, but John Barsby and Vernon, two teams again, will travel next weekend, play in the AA championship. Oh no, we will have the JV games.
Yeah,
my
the
bad.
two
Sorry
JV
about that.
games
Yeah,
in the
of
morning.
course.
They will be the fourth game of the day.
That's right.
John
That's right.
Barsby Bulldogs
After the All-Star game. That's right. Thank you for
taking on the Vernon
correcting
Panthers.
me.
No problem.
Exactly. We will have Barsby and Vernon playing probably the 4 o'clock game next weekend, which is better for travel for those folks.
Where is John Barsby located?
John Barsby's right in the heart of Nanaimo.
That's what I thought. I
yeah.
thought they were an island high school.
Yeah, not too far from downtown. Yeah, so again, congratulations to Rob Stevenson. Again, you look at these schools like Nechako Valley, you look at the schools like John Barsby, not a lot of people going to those schools, not a lot of kids at those schools. Those, some of those have had some declining enrollment areas, and boy, kudos to Coach Brown and Coach Stevenson for getting his kids out to play football, even though there's not as many kids to choose from, of course, to play.
As the Windsor Wolves will get one last crack at looking downfield. I thought they might anyways. No, they're going to let the clock run here after Samson Sachter was brought down on the kick return. And that will do it for this game. What a game it was. Wish it had been neck and neck right to the bitter end like it had been through the first half, but an incredible showing from both teams. Nevertheless, a hugely entertaining contest here today that sees the John Barsby Bulldogs punch their ticket onto Championship Saturday. They will be taking the ferry back to BC Place yet again next weekend to take on the Vernon Panthers with the AA Varsity Championship on the line. Incredible stuff. As Rondé Lyle, probably the most outstanding player of this game, he finishes it with 3 touchdowns, but I think there's an argument to be made that Johnny Durkin is the guy who really set the table for Barsby to be able to win this game at all.
Yeah, absolutely. Just, that's the great thing about football. Again, the real, team football is the ultimate team game, right? And it's not just one guy that's going to, win or lose a game for you. It's going to be so many players just playing a team game, and that's exactly what happened in this football game. But really, the story of this game is not necessarily who won or lost. It's just the fact that these kids just played their hearts out, and it was a very entertaining and very, very physical football game, Justin.
It really was terrific. I honestly think this is one of the best football games I've ever had the privilege of calling. I've mentioned it a few times, but I do really want to underline how entertaining this game was from both sides. And again, for Emmett Ward and the Windsor Wolves, this is not the end of the journey. It is the end of this season. But that is a very talented quarterback who still has 1 year ahead of him as a grade 12 coming back next year. So I'm sure we will see him playing football in BC Place Stadium again at this time next year.
Absolutely.
But an incredible showing from both sides ends with the John Barsby Bulldogs, the victors over the Windsor Wolves. I do want to thank you folks for tuning in, of course, to watch the game so far today. Don't go anywhere, however. We still have 2 AAA varsity semifinals coming your way, of course, as I'll let you tee up the remaining teams here, Jay. Actually, I'll do it for you. It's the Rutland Voodoo coming up in the first of 2 semis as they take on the Vancouver College Fighting Irish. And then our main event this evening, a slobber knocker between the Grahams, GW, and Carson. 4 teams in AAA varsity action. Only 2 will remain by the time the night is done. So don't go anywhere. 2 more games coming your way on semifinals Saturday, the first of which is a little over 12 minutes away. That'll do it for me, however, as Jake Elliott takes over on play-by-play duties. It's been an honor to call these games yet again. Always a pleasure to do it with you, Jay, and always a pleasure to call it for the folks at home as well. On behalf of Jay Prepcheck, I'm Justin Morissette. More football action coming your way right here before you know it, so don't go anywhere. It's the 2023 BC School Sports Football Championships live from BC Place Stadium.